Hello, welcome to the first broadcast of Not Just Books with WCTV. My name is Dolores Greenwald, Director of the Williamson County Public Library. This monthly show is created to tell viewers about the library and what interesting things are happening in the Williamson County area. So sit back, relax, and remember, tune in once a month to learn about your library and community. The Williamson County Library serves residents of the county and many things. You can find information about our library and its 5 branches by visiting our website at wcpltn.org. Today we have some very special guests who will be discussing your community and what is happening with books. If you're a parent, you'll be particularly interested in the program today. We will be talking with Kathy Hundahl with Columbia State Community College, and we'll also be speaking with Steve Guthrie and Sonia Johnson of the United Way. Also with us is children's librarian Liz Arambide, and she works at the main library branch here in Franklin. She'll be discussing Tennessee volunteer books, and which are established by the Tennessee Library Association. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be right back with What's Hot in Books.
I'm Montel Williams. The Partnership for Prescription Assistance is traveling to all 50 states, making stops in more than 500 cities to help people pay for their medicine.
The PPA has been terrific. It's really changed my life.
Let me say right from the jump, this program is real. The help you can get is real. Thank you.
If you need help, you don't have to wait for the bus to get on board. Just call 1-888-4PPA now to see if you may qualify. A trained specialist will help you apply. Just tell them the names of the medicine you take. You could get them free or nearly free.
It has been a lifesaver for me in more ways than one.
This past year, America's pharmaceutical companies gave away more than $5 billion worth of medicines to people in need.
It really helped me out of a tough spot.
So whether you live in the Sunshine State or the land of the midnight sun, if you need help, just call 1-888-4PPA now. The Partnership for Prescription Assistance, on the road to helping you.
Hello, welcome back to Not Just Books. I'm Dolores Greenwald. In our What's Hot in Books segment, we'll discuss items of interest in publishing and the reading world. Today, we'll be discussing the Tennessee State Library's Volunteer Book State Award, or VSBA. This is a selected reading list for children, so parents will want to particularly pay close attention. And also, help me welcome today Liz Arambide, children's librarian with the main library here in Franklin. She's been with the library approximately a year, but has had much more previous experience. She is a great part of the team, and we're glad to have her on the program today. Welcome, Liz. Give us a little bit of background and what brought you to Franklin.
Well, I was looking for jobs. I had been in the schools, but previously I had been in the public library in El Paso, Texas, and so when this job was open, I was very glad to be back in the public library.
Well, we're very glad to have you here at Williamson County. Tell us about the Tennessee Volunteer List.
Well, it's a wonderful list. It's a list of 20 books in each of 4 categories for kids and teens. And what is wonderful about it is that from this list, the kids will select at least 3 books to read. And after they read them, then in May they get to choose one of these books to vote for. And the books that have the most votes become the award list. So this Volunteer State Book Award is really wonderful because it's selected by the kids.
The kids themselves. That's great. That's great. And how was the list developed?
Well, it was developed so that everybody could find out what was the best recent books for children. And the books have to be at least no later than 5 years. Mm-hmm. Usually it's 2 or 3 years old.
Tell us about some of your favorites that are on the list.
Well, some of the favorites are Art and Max on the grades pre-K through 2nd, and Art wants to be a painter. And he comes in and he says, "Hey, I want to be a painter." And he asks his mentor, "Well, what can I paint?" And he says, "You can paint me." Well, he thinks that means that he can take paint and actually paint it. And he develops a new technique that his mentor has never seen.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tell us about one more of the books that you like.
Well, on the intermediate list is a book called Long Walk to Water, and it's done by Linda Sue Parks, who is normally a writer who writes about Korean and Korean American experiences. But in this book, she's talking about the lost boys of Sudan.
Ah, yes.
And she had met a lost boy, and this is his story, but told in fiction. And it's a short book, but it's very well done.
Ah, that's excellent. Tell us about the age group and how many categories there are in the list.
Well, this year there are 4. There have been 3 in the past. The first one is pre-K through 2nd, and then we have 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, and the high school, 9th through 12th. So it's basically lower elementary, higher elementary, middle school, and high school.
And if a parent is interested in seeing the list, how can they get a hold of it?
Okay, they can do it one of 2 ways. They can go to the Texas Association of School Libraries site, which is TASL, and then also put a comma in Google and put VSBA, and that will take them right to that site. They will find a list that they can download and print. Also, they will find a wonderful PowerPoint that will give what each book is about. The second place is on our website, Williamson County Public Library. If you go down on the left-hand side, you'll see Kids, and you click on that, and on the right side of our page, you'll see the VSBA list for 4 categories, and for both kids and teens.
Well, Liz, some of the parents that come into the library that are interested in the list, what kind of questions do they ask you, and what do they think about the list?
They want to know which books are in, and if we have the books separated. And we don't have the books separated. We have them all just the way they would normally be filed. And we have a list that you can pick up in the library, and then we can show them how to get it on our site and how to find the books that are in, because that's mostly what they want to know, is which books are in and the ones, and sometimes they're interested and we'll tell them what each one is about.
And if the book is not in, they can be put on a list and receive it when it does come back.
Right, we have something called Hold. They can even do this from home, and they can go and reserve it, they can see it from home, and then if they are in the library, we can help them with that.
And tell a little bit about, they can come to other locations. They don't have to be at the main library in Franklin, but they can come to other locations and request books too.
Right, they can be in any of our branches.
So it's a very interesting program. How long has it been going on?
It started in the 70s and had a different name, and then over the years it's changed and evolved into the Volunteer State Book Award.
Thank you very much, Liz, for joining us today and telling us about the program, and thanks for everything you do at the library.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did you know the library offers computer and social networking workshops such as Word, Excel, Facebook, and Twitter? For further information, you can contact us at 595-1243 or visit our website at wcpltn.org.
Where can I find out about the Venus flytrap?
Where can I research information on my business competitors?
What is the safety record on the car I want?
Where can I research careers?
Where? I'm all shook up.
The Tennessee Electronic Library. That's where. And it's free to everyone in our state. Now go to your public library and find out how you can log on and get your password to a world of information just for living in our state. You can probably even figure out the password just by listening to my voice.
Hey, hey, I'm all shook up.
She's got all these new friends, and I know they're not necessarily the best crowd.
Want to build a relationship at home where your teen is free to share their feelings? Take time to talk.
It's not a
Oh, well, first of all, I'm glad you got invited for prom.
Take time to listen.
I don't want to make her upset.
If your teenager wants to tell you something, give them your undivided attention. Let home be the place where you talk about subjects that are fun and about subjects that are difficult. Don't know where to start? Books can help. Regardless of the book you choose, after reading it, take time to discuss what you've read and talk about their feelings and concerns.
If I was in that situation, would I be able to do it or not, you know?
Right. Remember, your teen's ideas are important, and your ability to listen is key to fostering a positive home environment. This Choose Success moment has been brought to you by the Middle Tennessee P16 Council.
Welcome back to Not Just Books. I'm Dolores Greenwald, and our Your World segment will be focusing on organizations of interest to people living in the Williamson County area. Today we have special guest Kathy Hudnall, Director of Commercial Entertainment Program at Columbia State Community College. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about your background. How long have you been with Columbia State?
I have, wow, I think 18 years now from the beginning of our program, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was part-time and in a year went to full-time and then a few years later took over for Dr. Carroll as program director.
And what brought you to Columbia State?
Wow. Ron Schuff, actually, from Schuff's Music. He recommended me for the position, and it's commercial music, so it's right up my alley. I performed and recorded and did music for television and computer games for years, so they wanted somebody with a degree that also had professional background.
So you did some of the backup music and what have you for video games as well?
I did the original score for Red Baron, that old...
Oh my gosh, how excellent.
Not to date myself or anything. Yes, so the original computer game, back when MIDI was just, you know, really at its early stages.
Well,
so.
Excellent, excellent. Tell us about your exciting program at Columbia State.
Well, we have a commercial entertainment program. It focuses on every aspect of the recording, songwriting, performing industry here and all over the world. We train everybody, we cross-train everybody, actually. We train them to sing, to dance, and to act, and to handle a stage. We train everybody in entertainment business so they know that it's a business. And we teach everybody how to record, how to edit, how to really produce their own online resumes, performance resumes. So it's pretty amazing. We've managed to make it really practical, and we've managed to really keep up with the industry, which is hard. I mean,
I can imagine that that's the case. Tell me a little bit about that, the old-time large recording studios that musicians used to use. They're not used so much anymore. People are doing it themselves.
Yes.
And how's that affected the music industry, and what type of equipment are people using now to make their own music?
Laptops constantly, Mac Pros all the time. All my students have Macs. Really, more and more it's in-home because it's cost effective. So where it used to be all the outboard equipment and the outboard MIDI equipment, now it's all on a laptop. We use Logic, which is a all-encompassing recording software, and it works great. They can compose, they can drag loops, which are little recorded segments, and piece them together. Songwriters have a lot more freedom now, which is great, to really, from the ground up, become self-sufficient. So,
are they excited about the changes? Do they enjoy working with this type of equipment and
they love it.
Software?
It's hard to, sometimes in class they're so buried in, because each student gets a computer that they work on with their classes, so they're so buried I have to go, hello, teacher here. Take your headphones off.
Well, tell us now what some of your graduates are doing.
Well, a lot of our performing graduates are working all over the world. A great deal of them are here. Some of them are dance teachers. Haley, one of our graduates who came into the program about a few years ago, she's on tour with Disney in Europe right now. Courtney, a recent graduate, just finished a tour performing for 6 months in Pigeon Forge, and now is leaving to tour Canada and New England in a theater company. We have another graduate who just left, actually, or is just leaving in February with the Tennessee Theater Company to do a tour, United States tour.
Now, when I was at Leadership Franklin, I noticed you had a student that had just recorded an album.
Maureen, yes.
How's she doing?
She's doing great. She just got back from Honduras. She's planning on touring all summer long with her album. It's a Christian, Spanish, English album. Really fabulous singer. So she's in our musical this spring. So,
so when does she graduate?
She graduates. She's going to try to graduate this spring so she can really hit the ground running in summer and tour. And anything she has left, she'll take online. So she's doing great, though. She's wonderful.
That's excellent.
Yes.
How many students are usually in your class at a time? Got a heavy class load right now. We were talking earlier.
It depends on the class. Some of them are small. My voice class is really small on purpose because I have to get to everybody, so we have multiple classes in voice, commercial voice. Anywhere from 10 to 30, it just depends on the type of class. We keep our dance classes pretty limited. We keep them at 10 students. Because they need that attention. They're in and out, and they have to learn how to dance in a year to 2 years.
Oh,
wow. A lot of focus, individual focus on the students.
Well, Kathy, how would, if someone's more interested in Columbia State in your program, how could they contact you?
They can get in touch with me. They can call the main office, but we have a website under commercial entertainment, so they can go on the main page and look for commercial entertainment and click, and all my contact information is on that page. So that would be a really good way to get in touch.
Well, very good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And please stay tuned. We will return quickly with our Save the Date segment.
WAKM AM 950, Williamson County's hometown radio, and WCTV, the education and government cable channel for Williamson County. Together, serving the fastest growing county in the great state of Tennessee.
And did you know that the library circulates ebooks? Well, we do. We purchase books, and we also have a license with the state library to provide them. We also not only check out ebooks, but we also lend Kindles and Nooks. We make these e-readers available to residents free of charge. So if you do not know what all this ebook craze is about, come by the library and we'll help you sort it out. In our Save the Date segment, we'll discuss programs and events that will be happening at your Williamson County Public Library. So please help me introduce two very special guests today, Steve Guthrie and Sonia Johnson. Sonia is a Community Impact Coordinator with United Way of Williamson County, and Steve Guthrie is Vice President of Community Impact. Welcome, and thank you both for joining us today. And
thank you.
Give us a little bit of background. Sonia, how did you come to work for United Way here in Williamson County?
Well, I wanted to do something where I could give back. worked with so many different organizations at one time, and United Way was like a one-stop shop. And so I definitely was able to see an opportunity there, and I jumped on it, and I've been there 7 years, loved every day. No 2 days are the same, but I love it.
Very good. And Steve, what about you?
Same for me. I was, after many, many years in the for-profit business, I had worked the past 3 or 4 years in nonprofit, helping others, and it really means a lot to me to give back, and I think it's something that I have really enjoyed and plan to continue enjoying.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for coming today. Tell us a little bit, Sonia, about the United Way's Community Impact Program.
Yeah, well, United Way, to me, United Way of Williamson County is a great vehicle that connects people and volunteers, other nonprofit organizations to, resources and services that they would not have access to. Community impact for United Way is another way of saying giving back. Once there is a need in the community that we see that is being underserved, once we create the opportunity to provide services to address that need, then you've made a community impact. So that's the mission and the drive behind, what we do in-house. We have 4 community programs that we help provide in the community, such as the Williamson County Anti-Drug Coalition, Raise Your Hand, which is a tutoring mentoring program. We have the Volunteer Center, and then we have free tax preparation.
Well, very good. Well, Steve, how do you define a need and develop a program?
Well, a lot of that depends on the specific community, and what we do there is normally have a community assessment, needs assessment done. And I guess it's kind of easy to go out and say we have a need and then find a program to fit that need. What we try to do is make sure the need is there, and then find a way to best approach that need through looking at various funding sources and that kind of thing.
Okay. It's the first of the year, it's January. A lot of people are thinking about their taxes and getting their taxes ready, and there's been a lot of changes in the tax forms and how they are, how you fill them out and what have you. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the tax preparation program.
Well, we have our VITA program, which stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, where we have trained volunteers. They are certified through the IRS that prepare taxes for free. It's a great service that we provide to the community. We start February 2nd here in Williamson County, and so there's been some changes, but of course the start date has been pushed back to January 30th, but our sites start February 2nd, so we are right in line with being prepared and ready to go.
Oh, excellent. I'm sure people will be glad to hear that. Steve, how does one qualify to be in the program and get their taxes prepared?
To be in our VITA program, it's income-based. Anyone making $57,000 a year and less is qualified for the program, and what they need to do is just call. We have a scheduling line they can call, and that's the way that we qualify them, income-based.
I know one of the changes you're making with the program is kiosks. So Sonia, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're excited about the self-help kiosk. It's only going to be offered on Mondays from 9 to 12, and that's where we're introducing My Free Taxes. So we have the VITA program and My Free Taxes that's going on this year through United Way. And what it is that individuals who feel comfortable preparing a basic tax return, they can go in. There is a volunteer that is trained and certified there to offer assistance if it's needed. But sometimes people just want to go in. They can do it really quick, get in and get out, and that service is provided for them.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Steve, what are some of the locations you're going to be at? I know you're going to be at the main library in Franklin.
We are going to be at in College Grove. We're going to be in Fairview. We're going to be in the main library in Franklin, and then we're going to be at Graceworks Ministries as well.
Graceworks Ministries.
Yes.
And when does your program start? You said February 2nd?
It does.
And then how long will the program be going?
It runs until April 15th.
And you're at the library here in Franklin how many days a week?
We're there 3 days a week.
3 days
At all our sites, taxes are going on every day of the week except for Friday and Sundays. So residents can come in any day except for those days. We're at Williamson County on Mondays with the self-help kiosks, and Wednesday evenings, and then Saturday mornings.
That's excellent. Tell us a little bit about your Raise Your Hand program.
Raise Your Hand is in its second semester. This will be our third semester starting February 18th, and it's in Williamson County Schools. Right now we concentrate on 3rd and 4th grade students in reading and math. The volunteer support has been tremendous. I just want to say thank you to all of our volunteers who have stepped up, those who are looking to step up. We welcome them to give us a call, and they can find all the information on our website, which is uwwc.org. And we have just had a tremendous outpouring from the parents, from the school. This year we've doubled in numbers, so we have over 100 students that we're serving.
Well, Steve, I know here in Williamson County we have a lot of servant heart mentalities here. As we mentioned that phrase before we went on camera. But how does someone go through the screening process real briefly? How do they do that?
Well, they would normally get in touch with myself or Sonia, and there's a number to call. They can call us at Worth, United Way telephone number, or the website. And then we do normally a background check, and that takes a couple weeks to get done. And they're qualified, and what we try to do is place individual volunteers with where they have had experience in the past. So we found we have a lot of volunteers who have extra time on their hands right now, some retired school teachers, and also people that just stay at home that want to get out and do something to help the community. So it's been a great program for us.
Well, thank you so much for coming today and telling us about the United Way and what great things you'll be doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, and please stay tuned for our wrap-up of today's program. Thank you so much for joining us for our first program. I've enjoyed the show and hope you will join us again. I'd like to thank our special guests today, Kathy Hundahl with Columbia State Community College, Liz R&B Day, Children's Librarian here at Williamson County, Steve Guthrie and Sonia Johnson with United Way. If you have any comments or suggestions for future programs, please contact me. The email address for the show is notjustbooks@williamson-tn.org. You can also leave comments at the library's website at wcpltn.org. Until next time, explore your world and read.